So I've been in Chiang Mai for almost 3 weeks now, and I tried really hard to be a normal human being, stay in one place, get stuff done, but I think I was just missing the road and the bike and the adventure and the unknown way too much. So leaving town earlier than I expected, but so ready to get into the mountains. Finally made it out of the city into the open space and open air, and I feel like I can breathe again, which is probably a good thing because I am breathing heavy getting up into these hills. They ain't joking, man. This stuff is steep, but I think what goes up eventually must come down, I hope. Been pushing the bike for at least a kilometer now, maybe more. This is relentless. Definitely type 2 fun. Holy. I've been pushing the bike for 3K now, uphill. I'm beat. I think one thing's for sure, back home, Turk the Tacoma is kind of like Hilux the bike here. They're both pretty slow on the uphills. So I severely underestimated these mountains and how difficult this was going to be. Today was a hard day. It was beautiful, but definitely the hardest day on this trip, if not one of the hardest days I've had ever. And that's counting ultramarathons and Race Across America. So these mountains are legit. The town I was hoping to stay in was full, so I pushed the bike another kilometer, and now I'm in this luxury tent, which was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but it's really nice. And yeah, I may need to rethink my plans for the mountains a little bit, recalibrate, and today I was pretty humbled, but it's beautiful and it's just so good to be back on the road. Another day of a lot of pushing the bike uphill. I'm on my way up to Doi Antanan, I think is how you say it, but it's the tallest mountain, the tallest point in Thailand. 5K left and about 1,200 feet of climb, and it's hot and it's hard, but I'm getting there. Made it to the top of Doi Antanan, the tallest point in Thailand. So I've officially ridden my bicycle from sea level to the highest point in Thailand. 2,550 meters, I believe, about 8,400 feet, and that was a push. Kind of wishing that maybe I didn't have such a masochistic addiction to adventure. That was a long climb, but I'm glad I did it. It was cool. Literally, it was 18 degrees C at the top, so I put my jacket on, and I'm slowly making my way off the mountain, taking breaks to warm my body and cool my disc brakes. And once I'm out of here, I'll just kind of keep cycling on, find the next town, get a little place to stay, cold beer, and relax. About an hour ago, I was all the way up on top of that. I'm glad to be going down. So bike touring isn't all just national parks and beautiful views. I'm sitting here having a beer, looking up hotels on what I'm pretty sure is the trash bench, but whatever gets the job done. Well, I just took a break pushing the bike up a really tall hill, and I just need some calories. So I checked the map trying to find a place to get some food and realized that I've been going 15 kilometers the wrong direction down a dead-end mountain road, up a dead-end mountain road on a day that's already supposed to be pretty burly. So I guess I gotta turn around, go back up this huge climb that I just barely made it down. Today is gonna be an adventure. At least it's beautiful. After studying the map a little bit, trying to figure out if I could continue going forward and make it to a town, I think I gotta just backtrack. So that was a couple hour bunch of climb. Oops. Back to where I was supposed to turn this morning. Been on the bike for 4 hours and I am 7 kilometers from where I started. So today's gonna be a long day, but I'm going that way. All right, I made it somewhere. I knew after getting lost today that I was gonna be racing the sunset, and yeah, it set on me. It was actually really beautiful, but it was also terrifying because I was coming down out of the mountains as the sun was setting. And then it got really hard to see the road, but the sunset was just gorgeous. Did about the last hour in the dark, and downhill potholes, pretty scary. So found this place a kilometer off the road. Not quite as far as I wanted to make it, but I'm here, I'm safe, going to get some food, and it was another day. So I split this section up into 2 days because it was gonna be 100 kilometers, and looking at the map was about 9,000 feet of climb, and I just didn't know if I could do it. So I did 25K the first day with maybe about 1,000 feet or 1,500, and yesterday it was gonna be 75 kilometers with something like 7,000 or 8,000, which was still gonna be pretty burly. But of course, first thing in the morning, I took a wrong turn that ended up being 2 hours out, 2 hours back. And then I stopped for a beer at noon at a little tienda, and some local guy was so excited that I was having a beer too that he bought another one and we shared it, and then another one. I had to sneak out of there before I got drunk. And by the time I finally rolled into here at the end of the day, it ends up I did about 90 kilometers, I think, and almost 12,000 feet of climbing. So I guess I could have done it. Maybe a bit of karma or the bike gods telling me to not be such a wimp. So I'm in Ban Rak Thai. I left Mae Hong Son today. I think I did like 30 miles and 5,000 feet of climbing, so that was a much more difficult day than I was anticipating. It's a little tourist town, kind of cool. That mountain back there is actually Burma, Myanmar, so the border is super close. I wish international travel was available, but this place is pretty cool. So I'm still several days from getting out of the mountains and into the flat areas around Chiang Mai, and I think I'm just gonna spend a lot of time pushing the bike up hairpin turns like this. I'm loving it out here, but I'm also pretty beat and maybe ready for some beach time and some flat roads. So I just got done complaining about all these hairpin turns and pushing the bike uphill, and as I was going, some guy just stopped on his little scooter and gave me an energy drink and some Mentos, and in English said, "For you, good job." So, whew, I mean, it's still hard today, but yeah, it's just those little reminders that I'm really, really glad to have this opportunity to be out here in this beautiful place. So, I'm gonna drink this and get back to pushing. So I pushed my way into this village on a ridgeline in these really beautiful mountains. It is gorgeous here. It's still really, really difficult on the bike. But I just stopped at a market and asked someone if they knew of a homestay. It's Friday and it's pretty busy around town. So I don't know, she called someone, and a few minutes later, I followed someone on a motorbike, got to my little homestay. It's a pretty simple little bamboo hut, but it's got a good view. It's 500 baht, which was a little bit much, but I'm in a touristy area. But yeah, it's got a bathroom with a bum gun, but no shower, and just a bucket. Clean, did my laundry, gonna just head on around and see what I can find. Maybe a cafe for some coffee, a little bit of internet, and this should be pretty good for sunset and sunrise. Before every incline, there is the road sign that shows a truck going uphill, and every single one has 8% on it. I'm not real good at geometry, but I don't think all these are 8% or even close, but maybe that's just the Thai way of saying uphill. It's a lot of pushing. All right, these mountains are pretty difficult. I've been eating 2 portions every meal for dinner. I just stopped at 7-Eleven this morning, got myself 2 cheese toasties and 2 coffees, and I just can't get enough energy. So I was gonna do a little bit more like out in the middle of nowhere, pushing up and down some mountains today, but I think I'm gonna nix that and heading into Pai instead. Well, I showed up in Pai and my body was pretty beat. So I had friends visiting in town and we had fun for a couple days and they headed back. And I stayed for 5 nights. So I haven't been on the bike in 4 days. Drank a lot of good coffee, caught up on work, rested my legs, and I think it's time to get moving again. Made it back to Chiang Mai. It was a 2.5 to 3 week ride out in the mountains. Those were pretty serious mountains, but today was just such a beautiful ride. I did about 50 kilometers, all really flat, and rolled back into town. So now I've got a couple days, gonna hang out with some friends tonight and this weekend, and then I need to figure out how to get back to Krabi and Koh Lanta. I need to check in with my immigration and get another 3 months in about a 1.5 to 2 weeks from now. So I'm gonna relax a little bit, celebrate the Mae Hong Son Loop with some good old McDonald's. Well, my goal was to head back to Koh Lanta in an interesting, kind of more adventurous way, but looking at the train schedules and the cost for the overnight bunks and just the availability, it wasn't making a lot of sense. So I stopped by the post office and they can ship my bike back to Koh Lanta pretty easily, and I can just hop a quick 2-hour direct flight to Krabi. So I think I'm gonna do that. So right now this is the end for me and Hilux on the bike tour to the north of Thailand. But once I get back and check in with immigration and get through the holidays, I think there will be some more southern bike tours in our future. So it's not the end, but I'm about ready to go package them up, ship them home, and head there myself in a couple days.